This is Inauguration Day, Friday, January 20th, 2017, a day that will live forever. And I was thinking this morning, how do I share with you how I really feel about what's happening today, Inauguration Day, Donald Trump becoming the 45th president of this great nation. And, you know, I have the same feeling today that I had when I woke up on the morning of November 9th, 2016. I rushed to the TV, turned Fox News on, and Donald Trump was president. I had tried to stay up and just stay up all night to hear it, but I have to get up every morning at 4 a.m. to get here to the studio. And so I just couldn't last any longer. So I went to bed, woke up early. I figured, you know, what's going to happen. And when they announced that he was president, he had won, beat out Hillary, you know, it's like hope came alive again for the country. And it's like it was a freeing up. Now, I don't know. I believe Donald Trump is going to do the best that he said he was going to do to keep all his promises that he's made to us. I believe that will happen. But it reminded me of 29 years ago today. Well, not today, but 29 years ago as of now, when I asked God to let me see what was wrong with me, why I was emotional, had doubt and fear and worry about life, couldn't stand up when I needed to situations. And he allowed me to see that it was the anger that I was harboring in my heart and that I needed to forgive, let it go. And in that very moment, because I didn't fight against it, I was able to see it, and I was freed up in that very moment. And it was like a dark spirit had been holding me down for a long time in life. It had me blinded where I couldn't see. And even though I had wanted to have faith and hope, I really didn't have it. It was that kind of lifting of a load that I felt on November 9th, 2016, when it was announced that, well, when I found out that Donald Trump had won. Apparently they had announced it, you know, that Friday, whatever night, Tuesday night, the 8th. It was that same kind of freeing up. The first freeing up was for my soul. My soul was free. It had been made free, and I was able to see in a way that I forgot that a human being should be able to see. I was able to see by the light of God within me, and just as children see by the light of God in them until they traumatize. And this one was and so on November 9th, 2016, it was a load lifted, and I was able to see that our country, my country, had hope again, that the spirit of darkness was lifted off the country, and now we have a hope of making America great again. It was a freeing up that I didn't know you can feel about a country. And so I'm so grateful, you have no idea. And then the type of person that we have running the country, a man who is, I believe, a man of God in a way that I don't think a lot of Christians understand. They know there is something about him. Even the children of the lie know that there is something different about him, but I don't think they understand the depths of what's going on. Children of God are supposed to, men and women of God, are supposed to live the life, not taught the life. Meaning that a lot of Christians think that the sign of being a Christian is just quoting scriptures. They really do. And, you know, going out and protesting against abortion and stuff. But that power is missing. And it's good to protest abortion. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that Donald Trump lived the life of a man of God. He's not just quoting scriptures and quoting the Bible and doing that. He's just doing it. He's just living the life with power and authority. He has the courage and the energy of God within. It's so interesting to see it. It's just amazing to see it. A lot of Christians think he's a good man and they trust that he's going to do the right thing, but they judge him on the habits that he picked up before returning to the Father. And habits start to fall away when you turn back to the Father. And so I think they're looking at that, not understanding that the sin of man is the anger that they have in their heart, men and women. That's the sin, because the sin is pride, and pride, the sin is judgment, and pride is a falling away from the God, from the true God, your own identity, your natural identity, to be God yourself. Once you can repent of your anger, then you return to your natural state of being, then you start living it, because you're back unto your Father, and you just get up every morning, every day, all day, and just be with courage and no fear, with love and authority. That's why Donald Trump is able to just attack his enemies and still have coffee with them right after the conversation. And because he has no anger, there's no residue that is left over from the attack of your enemy. It's so interesting. It's mind-blowing. And so I'm looking at Donald Trump at a distance because I want to see what's really going on with him, and that's what's happening. And that's why he was able to defeat, in the very beginning, the Rhino Republicans. I mean, who would have thought a non-politician that would come out of nowhere? How many people were in that first, when he was running against the Republicans? 16. There were 16 men and one woman. Well, it include one woman. 16 people who, in the primaries, who ran against Donald Trump, and all except for one, and I believe that was Dr. Carson, were politicians. And Donald Trump just wiped everybody out. The media, the polls, and everyone was saying, he's not going to make it. It's not going to happen. Oh, my goodness, he said this or he said that. He attacked women. When he said of Carly Farina, look at that face. They was like, for sure, it was over for Donald Trump. He said this about a woman. I mean, even that faded away. When he called Hillary Cricket Hillary. Remember the Mexican judge thing? Yeah. Oh, no, he's discriminating against a judge who is Hispanic. You can't do that. That's gone. I was thinking about how from day one, when Trump announced that he was running, and here are the things that I'm going to do. I'm going to, put a big, beautiful wall around the borders. I'm going to cut back on taxes and restrictions so that businesses can start up. Big businesses are coming back to the country, going to make it safe from radical Islamic terrorism. He was just going on and on with such authority. It just captured my attention. And since that time, I have been watching the spirit of Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's that same spirit that dwells in him. It dwells in all human beings, except for those who have turned away from it, and now the spirit of Satan dwells in them. But it dwells in all of us. We have that kind of authority. We really do have it. I have a friend of mine who, and I was talking to my producer about this morning, had wanted to go to the inauguration. And I remember them mentioning it to me. And a while back, they said, well, I'd like to go, but the hotels are crowded. The price of the hotels have gone up through the roof. And I thought no more about it because I just didn't think any more about it. And I realized this morning that, or maybe yesterday, I realized that I could have helped my friend go, but it wasn't done. It didn't really get my attention. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't a message like, I really want to go, I'm going to go kind of a thing. Because there were so many ways that he could have gone and not having to pay a lot of money or anything. I could have totally helped him go, gotten tickets for him and everything. But because it was done in a weak way, a weak presentation, not an aggressive authority one like, I'm going to get this done, the help didn't come from it for him. And I'm thinking, wow, that's so interesting because that's exactly why he didn't go. He didn't have that authority that get your attention, the right kind of authority, not evil authority, but good authority. It brings help to you. It opens up avenues where you can see and it gets attention from supporters and things open up for you. That's what Donald Trump does. And I realized, wow, that's why they didn't go. They were soft in their presentation to a point that it didn't even get my attention that they really wanted to go until yesterday. They're like, no, I really wanted to go. I'm like, wow, you should have told me. I did, but you didn't say anything because it didn't get my attention. It didn't it didn't say, I want to go, I'm going to go, I'm going to make a way. You know what I'm saying? We have that authority in us from our Father. He loves us, and whatever our heart desires, he would do it for us. So I'm looking at Donald Trump's spirit, and I see Donald Trump. I see he's a white man. I see the physical Donald Trump, but I see the spirit that drives him. And I'm telling you, folks, once you overcome your anger and you return to your earthly father, which would allow you to return to your spiritual father, you're going to see the spirit of what's driving people. And you will not hate them. You will love them. Once you drop your anger, you will return to your natural state of being, your natural nature, the one that you were born with, which is of your Creator. Everything changes for you. Everything changes. There is a reason to forgive. So I'm so excited about Donald Trump being there because he's different. He's not what the average person would recognize and understand. A lot of people see that there's something different about him, but they don't understand what's driving him. They really don't. And just because he's not preaching the Bible and doing all that, what the average Christian do, not all. Believe me, he's led by the right source, and he will make America great again. I hear a lot of people say, well, once he becomes president, he shouldn't speak this way. He shouldn't do what he's doing. He shouldn't tweet all the time. Donald Trump has to tweet because the children of the lie, liberal media, they are against him. They're not going to promote good. So he has another way of doing it. And I'm thinking these people who are giving him this advice, haven't they caught on yet? He's not going to take your advice because your advice is typical. That's the advice that have caused this country to go into darkness over the last 8 years. That advice doesn't work. It will not work. The children of the lie will defeat you with the advice that these people were giving Donald Trump. Had Donald Trump dealt with the campaign with the Rhino Republicans during the primaries and then Hillary Clinton, he would not be president. If he had spoken the way that the advisors, the experts and others were telling him, he would not be president. You had women coming out of the woodwork accusing Donald Trump of hating women, sexually harassing women and all that crap. Where are those women now? When Herman Cain was accused of that, he didn't have that same spirit. I love Herman Cain. He's a good man, nothing personal. I'm just saying, he didn't have that spirit to endure the way that Donald Trump did. He overcame that. Gloria Allred. Where's Gloria now? Where is Gloria Allred? Remember, we went out and protested Gloria for bringing out those women, and tried to get up to her office. She was hiding under her desk. She's a liar. She's a hypocrite. She doesn't care about the black community. Where's Gloria? America has a chance.